Hiya! So I am back with another video, and this has to do with the book of the month I read, which was The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, which got me thinking about my life, the way things have gone in the time, and then I realized it's been almost 5 years since I left home. And now for those of you who know me very well, you know I really didn't think I was going to make it through that first year of leaving home. And now when I look back at everything 5 years later, I realize I have learned so many lessons, which is why I wanted to present to you the 5 lessons I learned in the 5 years since I left home. So let's get into it. Lesson number 1, people don't care. They don't. Now you might be thinking to yourself, oh, well, Janine, I have lots of people that care about me. I've got my friends, I've got my family. Maybe it's just like a you problem? And for that, I'll have to say, rise and shine, honey. People don't give up. I think that was a little extreme. You see, the thing about it is, I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the masses. Masses really don't care, because if you want to take a real life example, you look at those grocery store shelves currently with this current outbreak. Yeah, people don't care. You see, those people, for example, are only thinking about themselves and their loved ones. And if they don't know you, they're not thinking about you, therefore they probably don't care about you. Now, this leads to my point. When you first leave home, try to build a community, try to make friends, try to join clubs, sports, whatever interest you have, follow it, because these people will become so invaluable to you. Like, I have met the most amazing people in my time, and they've become a second family to me in my time away from home, and I am so grateful for them. And it really enhanced my experience on my own so much, because I no longer felt like I was on my own. It doesn't even bother me to be away from home. I don't get homesick anymore just because I have this community of friends around. Which now takes me to my second point. Manage your money, okay? Some people say money makes the world go round. Honestly, money will keep you sane if you're managing it well, because when you're stressed about it, life's not fun. Okay? And your world is definitely not going round. So manage your money. You see, the thing about it is, my first year when I left home, I wasted so much money on God knows what. Literally, I think I spent most of my money on food and hair extensions. And for what? Literally, all I got out of it was fat with good hair. If you need an example, here you go. Okay? Yeah, so it wasn't really getting me anywhere. Now, naturally, with time, I did kind of get a hang of everything. And one of my major tips about this, if you want to learn how to manage your money, is allocate, allocate, allocate. Literally, the moment I get my salary, I automatically allocate everything. So some of it goes to a retirement fund, some of it goes to an ETF, some of it goes to an emergency savings. Of course, everyone's favorite, some of it goes to bills. And lastly, the rest of it goes to my allowance. Yep. Because I give myself an allowance, because I have no self-control. I can admit it, I have no self-control. So what happens when I run out of an allowance? Well, sucks to suck, I suffer till the end of the month. That's just how it is. See, the thing about it is, for those of you who don't know, in Germany, you only get paid once a month. Yeah, it's fabulous. Love it. So yeah, it can be tough, but you do have to learn how to manage your money, and once you do learn how to manage it, it does make things go a lot better. I mean, for me, I'm still learning. Sometimes I get a little carried away, but especially spending money on entertainment. But I did have to learn how to find unique ways of saving money. So I use things like Groupon. I try to travel on the off season. I use the app Entertainer, because here in Dubai, that's a very popular app. It's often 2-for-1 deals. And I just try to see whatever I can find is free, and it really makes me happy when I think about how much money I'm saving at the end of the day. So actually, I would be really interested to know, what do you guys do to save money, and what are your money management tips, because I'm still learning and I would love to hear what your opinions and tips are. And now moving on to my next point, fight for yourself, because if you don't fight for yourself, nobody's gonna fight for you. Yeah, that was one of the toughest lessons I learned living on my own. Because for the longest time, my biggest supporter, advocate, fighter was my mom. Okay, if anything was wrong, my mom was the first person to get in there. She would put people in their place, and I would sit in the back and be like, yeah, mom, you tell them. Yeah. And I really never had to get into it. But when I moved out on my own, I lost and I had to learn how to do it for myself. And fighting for myself is not something that comes naturally to me. I'm naturally a bit more passive. I would prefer to avoid an argument, but I did have to learn. And you learn in small things. Like, for example, I explained in another video, when I was really, really sick in university and I went to a doctor, this doctor had the audacity to tell me, yeah, you're not sick. And I was just like, excuse me, who you talking to? Me? No, I'm sick, sir. I'm sick. He's like, no, you're not. You came here last year with the exact same symptoms. You're not sick. You'll be fine. Go home. And literally, me and him had to go back and forth, until I was literally in tears, begging him to take my temperature. Finally, he went and did it, and then he was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. You've got a fever. I'm like, oh, Sherlock, you hit it on the head. Then he goes, so what do you think it is? Excuse me? Am I the doctor or are you the doctor here? All right? Now, this is a small example, and in this situation, it was easy for me to stand up for myself. But when you've got bigger situations, I've had so many instances where I've been with groups or in a work environment where someone has said something, and I've literally been like, did he just? Did she just? No, yeah, they just said that. Okay. You know what? The moment's gone anyway. I'm just gonna let it pass. Or there have been other instances where I've literally just been too scared to stand up for myself. And with time, you do learn how to pick up in these moments and learn to speak for yourself into the point where it becomes innate, but it does take time. I know for myself that's something I'm still definitely learning. And now, moving on to my, fourth point and fourth lesson, you can cry, but you need to keep it pushing. Now, I know this might sound insensitive, but life goes on. The hustle goes on. If you sit there and you wallow in your misery too long, you're passing opportunities. You're missing your goals. You're delaying the points to which you can get to. So what I like to do is, and this sounds maybe really weird to some of you, but I like to set deadlines to my sadness. So I'll literally, let's take the example of a breakup, be like, okay, you're sad. If you need to take a day off from work, take a day off from work. But come Tuesday, you need to be back on your game. We need to start moving because it's enough of this. And literally Tuesday will come around and I'll be sitting there like, dang, I really have to. I'd rather be at home in bed. Like every little song reminds you of whoever that person is. But also at the same time, the daily routine is such a welcome distraction from the sadness and the heartache. So really, be sad. Take the time that you need to heal. But also, don't forget to fall back into your routine. Don't forget to keep chasing your dreams and goals, because you can't let that momentary ache be the reason that you can't move forward. And lastly, to my fifth lesson, you will change, and it's okay. Embrace it. Really embrace the change. I always say when I moved to Germany, I was this excited, wide-eyed 18-year-old ready to take on life. And then 5 years later, I'm tired, y'all. My back hurts. I don't have the patience anymore. I've got wrinkles, all right? It's too much. I'm not that girl anymore, okay? I'm not. Okay, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. I'm trying to say I'm not the same person I was when I was 18. And a lot of people like to say, well, ooh, you've changed. You're not the same person you were back then. I hope not, honestly. Do I really want to be that same 18-year-old making all them damn mistakes? No, I'm happy to have changed, because with that change, I've learned so much. In the time I've left home, I've met so many different people. I've learned so many things about their culture. I've learned so many things about politics. I've got a completely different opinion than I did when I was living at home. A different perspective. I've gained the ability to sit there and talk to someone who I may not particularly agree with, but I'm able to listen to them and understand, wow, okay, so this is where their point is coming from, and this is how they came to this conclusion. And I may not agree with them, but now I can understand where they're coming from. So I honestly think change is one of the best things that can happen to you. And if you need an example of it, think of it this way. In the case of Pokemon, the Pokemons had to evolve so that they can take on the bigger challenges. So be a Pokemon and evolve so you can take on the bigger challenges in life and move to another level. And don't come at me talking about Pikachu never evolved. Pikachu was a franchise character. Okay, he was cute. If he evolved, it would have thrown the whole Pokemon franchise off its game. So you're not Pikachu. Think of yourself as the other Pokemon, okay? Evolve so you can take on these big challenges. Now, I hope my weird analogies didn't throw you off, but those were my 5 lessons that I learned since leaving home. Now, I could say there's a lot more lessons, but those were my top 5, which throws the question back at you guys. What were your lessons that you learned once you left home? Do you feel that change is a good thing, or do you prefer to think that no, it's better to stay yourself? I'd love to hear your opinions on this, and I look forward to our next video. So I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!